hadn't decided by Wednesday, so instead I focused my energy on making my appendix burst so that I wouldn't have to come and do this. And that hasn't worked, so here we are. And so, I'm going to go with Rod Stewart. Okay, that's the one that Carol wanted me to do, and since she's the one who's responsible for getting us here every month, I'll do it. Okay, the name of my story is How Rod Stewart Changed My Life. And Rod Stewart, well, his music anyway, I have never met him. His music really did change my life, because when I was younger, growing up in North Dakota, I liked Rod Stewart, but everyone I met, if I said, I like Rod Stewart, back in the 80s, for those of you who were alive in the 80s, this is what you heard. He's gay, you know. Did anybody hear that, or was it just the people that I knew? I did this over and over again, like that book, Are You My Mother? I would like go up to people and I'm like, I really like Rod Stewart, and they would say, he's gay, you know, to a person. And I would think, well, you could say, I don't like his music, or what's with that hair, but he's gay, it didn't make any sense to me because, well, I didn't know that. And I didn't say I wanted to sleep with him or marry him, so I gave up eventually, and I just figured, okay, I'm wrong. Everyone else thinks he's gay, and that's bad, so I'm going to stop asking people. And then I met my friend Lynn. And I knew her in junior high, but she lived on the north side, I lived on the south side, so we didn't get together that much. And then in high school, we had some classes together, and I got a driver's license, so we hung out all the time. And we had fun. We didn't have a great time. We didn't have, we're going to be talking about this 50 years from now fun, like I wanted to have, but we had a good time. And then one night, my parents were gone a lot when I was growing up, so we had a lot of freedom. One night, we went out, drive through the Taco John's, any boys here? No. Drive through McDonald's, any boys here? No. Drive over to the 7-Eleven, any boys here? Well, yes, there are. And so, we met these guys one night, and we went over to their house, and we listened to music all night long, and we had a good time. And I was sitting in the car, and I thought to myself, I'm going to try this one more time. And so I said to her, I really like Rod Stewart. And she said to me, so have I. And I am not kidding you when I say everything changed. We went out the next day to Musicland at the mall, and we bought the Rod Stewart Collection cassette. And we listened to the hell out of that thing. And every time we went out, it was talk about it 50 years later fun. We actually got a notebook so we could remember all this stuff. It's like, okay, what were those guys saying that was so stupid? We got to remember that and write it down. And it didn't matter what we did. It was always fun. And we were always listening to Rod Stewart. Sometimes we'd listen to AC/DC. Sometimes we'd listen to Led Zeppelin. But it was 75% Rod Stewart. Sometimes we wouldn't even have any plans to do anything. We were like, let's stay home tonight. And we would pop in Rod Stewart. And honest to goodness, we would look at each other at the same time and go, let's go to Grand Forks. And we're 17 years old and there's a blizzard, but as long as we've got Rod Stewart, maybe some Mountain Dew and some beer nuts, and let's throw in a blanket, everything will be okay. And it was. And she's still my best friend. And it doesn't even matter. If we don't talk to each other for a month or 2 months, I have called her and said, you're not going to believe this, but I went to the eye doctor and I fainted. And she has said, you're kidding, I fainted too. I was at work and I fainted. Or I called her one day and I said, I got stung by a bee for the first time in my life. I'm 25, I've never been stung. And she said, I just got stung by a bee too. And so I know I'm never alone. She's always out there somewhere experiencing the same thing that I am. So, and, sorry. But the reason that I wanted to tell this story is because it is my most important story. That's my theme. Bring your own theme. This story is my most important story because this is a story from which all my other stories have bloomed. If it wasn't for Lynn saying that, yeah, it's okay if Rod Stewart is or isn't gay, he's still got good music. And that just helped me to grow into the ally that I really wanted to be. And I don't think I could have done it without her saying that it was okay. I think I maybe would have given up. And so the moral of my story is I hope all of you have a friend like Lynn in your life. And I hope all of you are a friend like Lynn to somebody in your life. Thank you.